Hello, my name is Jimbo Ivy, and on behalf of the City of Corvallis Parks and Recreation Department, I'd like to welcome you to Majesticpiece Theater. Over the last 2 months, we have heard the word unprecedented enough times to last us for the rest of our lives, but this situation truly is. We have canceled dozens of performances, halted creative endeavors that have been in the works for well over a year, and generally slammed the brakes on all local performance art in the name of saving lives. And the sacrifice is real, in terms of dollars, in terms of hours, and in terms of passions put on hold. But we are theater folks, and as we say, the show must go on. Even before we began canceling everything in the whole world, people in our community had already leapt into the Google sphere to, in the words of Jeff Goldblum, find a way. And they have, with Majesticpiece Theater and the other events that we have started doing on our weekends via our Facebook live stream performances. For information on how to become involved in this digital Dionysian delight, visit majestic.org or our Facebook page. During these speeches, I always say at some point that you, the patrons, the donors, the actors, the technicians, and musicians are majestic, meaning that the art that we render is born of your dedication and talent. Tonight, you will see that in perhaps its purest form with this performance of Derric the Seventh by Ralph Turley, adapted and directed by Johanna Spencer. The efforts of many staff and volunteers have went into tonight's performance, but I'd like to thank Rachel Kohler, as she has been the driving force in this testament to the fact that when presented with literally any problem, even a global catastrophe, theater folks will make it work. So, at this time, we please ask that you turn off all cell phones and please refrain from any flash photography of this performance. In the unlikely event of an additional emergency, please take a moment to locate the exit nearest to you. Tonight's performance will not have an intermission. Thank you for your support of the Majestic Theater, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Welcome to Derric the Seventh's once royal palace, now a crumbling remnant of historical malice. In Utopa's long history, his short tragic reign stands out as a time of a kingdom insane. Our tale begins with King Derric VI, whose untimely death left the world in a fix. Fortified with wine around happy hour, he tripped on his robe and fell off a high tower. He fell in the moat, swam to shore, took a breath, then they lowered the drawbridge and crushed him to death. I know, 'cause I saw it. I was then royal fool. I was here from the first to the last bloody duel. Spirits from the past reenact a tale you won't believe. The year is 1313, the day All Hallows Eve. I beg you, doubt not the word of your host. I now, like the others, am not but a ghost.
King Derric the Seventh returns from his inaugural speech.
Brilliant speech, sire. You heard the cheers. They loved it.
They didn't love it, Xanthon. They cheered whenever I opened my mouth. They didn't listen. I said, in sad, tragic memory of my poor father's death, I pray a moment of silence to mourn his last breath. They shouted, hip, hip, hooray.
They loved your father, Derric. They were merely, well, they are peasants.
Why didn't they listen, wise man? Explain it.
Well, sire, the fact of the matter is, though not many monarchs know this, when you speak from the high tower to a crowd this size, they can't hear a word you are saying.
What?
Most kings never notice. It's a fine time to rule, sire. The kingdom's in a fine shape.
It's always in fine shape, Xanthon, ever since Bob I. It's not my doing. The kingdom was created centuries ago in a cataclysmic revolution performed by one of my ancestors, and nothing exciting has happened here since.
We don't want excitement, sire. We want stability.
I don't want to be a figurehead on a token throne. I want people to look back in history and say, Derric the Seventh, he was somebody.
You are somebody, sire. You are the king of Grand Utopia, a great ruler.
Like my father?
Yes.
And his father?
Yes.
And his father, and every Bob, Zach, and Derrick that ever ruled this kingdom. Utopia runs itself. We've no enemies to speak of, save a few rabble hordes of barbarian brigands whose total military intelligence consists of a single mysterious madman, Count Dubain. And he never shows his face.
Count Dubain is a peasant myth, sire, like the Purple Avenger.
Beg your pardon, my lord. The Purple Avenger does exist, my lord. We've seen him. He flourished his sword with a violent flare and then purplely vanished into violet air.
Count Dubain exists too, my lord, but only we ain't seen him.
Count Dubain is a blasted bugaboo, a boogeyman to frighten babies. And the Purple Avenger is pure poppycock. You, sire, are the people's real hero. You are king of the greatest kingdom that ever was. Now that is a feat worth remembering.
It's not a feat at all. I don't have to do a bloody thing but wear the crown, sit on the throne, and grin like a damn bloody fool.
You called, my lord.
No, Carlin, I was just saying that you could be ruler as well as I.
Great, then we'd both be kings.
Shut up, fool. Can't you see the king is upset?
Maybe a joke would help. Two peasants walk into an inn.
That's enough, fool.
Oh, you've heard this one?
That's it. Get out. Go to your room.
Geez, you think you'd own the palace or something.
You'll do fine, my boy. Make us proud.
But I want to be known for deeds of my own.
Deeds mean nothing when they don't need doing. Your name shall be immortalized by the glorious annals of law.
Don't you understand? It's boring history. Nothing but the number at the end distinguishes one Derrick from another. I want to be someone interesting, with thrilling tales of wild exploits and beautiful ballads to my name. To lead great armies into battle and come to grips with a mortal foe. To ride, hacking and slashing through a sea-like fray and arise victorious and further shore. And when the dark evil shroud of tyrannical oppression engulfs the land and the last scrabbling trace of humanity cries out in pitiful pangs of despair, then I shall rise up, the underdog in the night, and bearing the torch of justice high in hand, drive the demons back to the hell that spawned them. And when the populace cheers, they'll cheer me. I'll be immortal. I'll be a god. Of course, I'd settle for less.
Bob the First did all that. He slew the last of the tyrants and brought peace to the world. Have you learned nothing from the death of your brother Zach?
Well, Zach was a great fighter.
You yourself could only match him.
The two greatest swordsmen in all the kingdom.
I still can't believe a royal prince would steal off to hunt wild boar, ambushed by brigands. His brilliant swordplay did little good.
Little good? He sent 11 bastards to barbarian hell before some cowardly archer put an arrow in his back.
He ended up dead. The huntsman surrendered.
Oh, he couldn't surrender to barbarian scum. My brother was a great man.
He was also a fool.
A fool?
You called, my lord?
What? Oh, no, not now, Carlin.
Sire, I'm not questioning Zach's greatness. The two of you shared a bond that only twins can have.
5 o'clock and all is well.
Oh my, now look at the time. The applicants await you, sire.
What? Now?
You said you wanted duties.
But it's silly, Xanthon. Why retire now?
It's tradition, sire. Every king must choose his own royal wise man.
Well, I choose you.
It doesn't work that way, Derrick. Besides, I can't retire until my replacement is fully trained.
What are the applicants like?
There's 12 smartest men in the kingdom. I've screened them myself. We will announce your decision on the morrow, All Hallows Day. It's so perfect a day for appointing a wise man.
Yes, perhaps one of them knows how I can become historically interesting.
King Derric the Seventh goes to meet the applicants.
I can sing, dance, gamble like a mad jackanapes, juggle balls, swallow swords, make amazing escapes. I amuse and astound them in every which way, yet none, except for one, hears a word that I say. That one exquisite creature, Gwendolen, my lord's sister. Oh, 1,000 times I've dreamed that I have kissed her. But she is a princess, daughter of a king. And I'm just a jester, a dumb, foolish thing. I fervently dream of a day I could date her.
Harlan!
Hark, here she comes. We'll continue this later.
There you are, Carlin. I've been looking for you.
You have?
Yes. Have you heard if Derric has picked a wise man?
No, he just left to meet the applicants.
I can't wait to see which one he chooses.
I didn't know you were so interested in wisdom.
I'm not. I'm interested in wise men. Just think, soon, a whole new wise man. I do hope Derric considers me when he chooses.
You want to be wise men?
No, silly. Don't you see? Soon, a new man will be living in the palace. There are no neighboring kingdoms to provide me a prince, and I am of marriageable age, you know.
Believe me, I know.
I've perused the entire kingdom, and there's no one I want to marry.
Perhaps there's someone you haven't considered.
The peasants are just so common. Castle guards are overprotective and boring conversationalists. The knights are too macho and chauvinistic. Compared to them, a young wise man could be a dream come true.
A nightmare's more like it. Gwendolen, wise men are boring. You'd be miserable.
I must find somebody. I'm worried, Carlin. What if there's no one out there for me?
Gwendolen, there's something I've been longing to ask you.
This new wise man could be my last hope.
I've longed for such a long, long time to ask you.
If only life were simpler, Carlin. If only I could just...
Marry me.
Marry you. What?
I said, marry me.
Carlin, it's nothing to joke about.
I love you.
I love you too, Carlin. You're my best friend in the whole world, but I couldn't just...
Marry me?
Of course not. What a joke that would be, a fool married into the royal family.
I'm a fool, Gwendolen, not an idiot.
I know. Sometimes I think you're the smartest person in the palace, except Xanthon. You'll have no problem, Carlin. You're beautiful, charming, kind. Anybody would be crazy not to want you. I'm sure you could have anyone you want.
But I don't want anyone. I want her.
The king returns from meeting the applicants.
I beg you reconsider, sire. This madcap scheme is nonsense.
It shall be as I commanded. The first one to come up with a plan to make me go down in history shall be the new wise man.
What if none of the applicants can concoct such a plan?
Then find me one that can.
Oh, I'll never be rid of this ding-blasted job.
The king retires to his chamber.
Did you hear that, Carlin?
The king retires to his chamber?
No, before that, whoever thinks of a way to make Derric go down in history will be appointed royal wise man.
Hey, if I develop a plan, do you think he'd appoint me wise man?
Of course not. You're a fool.
She's right. Not even I would buy a plot like that. Perhaps if I dressed in stranger's garb and appeared with a different name, but that only works in theater. They knowed me just the same. My father was a happy man. He loved to be a jester, but the calling isn't in my soul. I'm cursed to be a quester. Whilst the jolly jester jumps about, her love goes unrequited. Her happiness hides the heavy heart of a guest who's not invited. Oh, life's dealt me a fool's hand without a card to play. When I think of life without Gwendolen, I'd rather pass away. The fool is, by now you know, the tragicest character in the show. Midnight approaches, All Hallows Eve, wickedest time of the year. The King's Guard kept vigil all through the night, with only slight twinges of fear.
Ow. You post the guards and check the sentries.
Check. Secure drawbridge and bar all entries.
Check. Bring the money you're to lose.
Ha! I got the bones, have you got the booze?
Check.
Come on, lucky 7.
Snake eyes. Pay up, Cap.
Lucky swine.
Double deuce, Cap. Get a double up.
You're on. Damn your luck, Bone. You ain't lost a game in a week.
And you ain't won one, Cap.
It's uncanny, unusual, unnatural.
Oh, you want to quit?
I want to know why you're so bleeding lucky.
Begrudge a man's good fortune.
Bad fortune, I say. This luck's a mite suspicious.
You saying I'm cheating?
I say you deal with the devil. See that? 11.
You owe me 5 quid, Cap.
Blood money, Bone. And Lucifer's a fickle master. It's nearly midnight. All Hallows Eve. Repent before it's too late.
I can't repent nothing I ain't done.
You just better, Bone. Painful penance is paid by that which works with witches.
What was that?
It's them, Bone. Evil creatures here to take you for cheating.
But I ain't cheating.
And what's them evil creatures here for, then?
Who says they're evil creatures?
Gotta be Bone. What else had come a-calling on this late, dark, horrible night?
What are they here for? What do they want?
I dunno.
Hang on a bit, I see what's happening here. You owe me 5 quid, Cap, and you're trying to scare me so's I forget.
No, Bone. There's something out there.
Yeah, there is, but I ain't no demons. See, I don't believe in no witches.
No, Bone. Don't say that. You made her mad.
Made who mad?
I dunno.
What do we do?
I dunno.
How do we get rid of them?
I dunno.
Yeah, I'll help you,
Sorry. If we ignore them, mayhaps they'll go away.
Think it'd work?
I dunno.
Worth a try. Are they gone?
I dunno. They're gone.
Yeah, you and your witches.
They're back.
I'm opening the door.
No, you can't. We don't know what's out there.
And how we gonna know unless we open the door?
I dunno. Mayhaps we get some guards?
We are some guards.
I know. I mean some other guards.
We are Kneecap and Shoulderbone, the king's elite personal guard and captains of his forces. And you want to tell a sentry that we're afraid of a bump in the night?
Mayhaps.
Mayhaps nothing. Cover me. See? Nothing. Told you, there ain't no such thing as witches.
In dark evil shroud, black omen approaches on tiny little feet like vile cockroaches. Cephanthus sees future, Cephanthus sees past. Cephanthus isn't cheap, but Cephanthus is fast. whiles wallows in witchcraft, she says such a sooth, to nurture men's dreams or to find their lost youth. I master men's mothers, I set their souls free. I tell folks their fortunes, good ones, for a fee. Mine motives suspected in hallowed men's eye, so stealth must be meted, the wise man draws nigh.
Confounded superstitious gods! Every All Hallows Eve is the same thing. Beasties, devils, demons in the night! Come on, you craven cretins! What gave you such a fright?
It was there, by the door.
It was horrible.
Where is it now?
We don't know.
Are the king's cards such cowards?
Hey, we're not cowards.
We'd be pleased and happy to die in combat protecting our liege.
Glorious self-sacrifice is how we dream of dying. What we live for.
Not being turned to toads.
Wait a minute. Smoke. Brimstone. All right, witch. Show yourself.
Oh, don't make it mad, Xanthan.
I said show yourself, witch.
Destinies are mine to show. Fortunes ebb and fortunes flow. Fate, it moves you to and fro. From my sight now, go, go, go.
Tell me twice.
Knock it off, Savanthus.
You were always such a spoil sport, Xanthan.
What is the meaning of this ungodly nocturnal intrusion?
I was banned by King Derric VI for predicting drink would be his downfall. Since this fate has come to pass and his son Derric VII is now in power, the ban on the former king is lifted.
Who says?
I was summoned by the great queen Jezebel herself. I'm staying.
I should have known that the queen was behind this.
Tonight's All Hallows Eve of 1313 Bane, which predestines odd omens for young Derric's reign.
If I say be gone, then you must be gone.
I wonder what the queen would say about that.
It doesn't matter what the queen would say. That meddling female will soon realise that with her husband dead and her son on the throne, she no longer wields the same power she did.
And I wonder what Derric would say to that.
Oh, no, I'm terribly sorry, my queen. I didn't see you there.
I'm sure you didn't. Now be a dear and go wake the king. Tell him a special guest is here to see him.
But your grace, he is sleeping.
I know he's asleep, Xanthan, or I wouldn't have asked you to wake him.
My queen, he has to pick a wise man tomorrow. I'll go. But I don't like it.
He's a good man, but he forgets his place.
Queenship suits you, your grace.
Oh, you think so? Well, sorcery certainly suits you, Xanthus. My God, you haven't changed a bit. You still look 20.
More like 30. A witching amulet has suspended my aging for a while.
If I'd known that, I'd have been a witch instead of a queen. It's good to see you, Xanthus.
You too, Belle. It's been 20 years.
Sorry about my husband's ban. He never liked being nagged about his drinking.
I saw it in the cards.
I want you to read for my son, and I'll make sure he heeds it. Derric, you could have gotten dressed.
It's the middle of the night. Could this wait until morning?
No. Day masks the spirit, which speak of great deeds. Day hides the omen. A worthy man heeds.
Who's that?
Derric, I want you to meet a friend of mine, Saphanthus Soothsayer. She's here to tell your fortunes.
Portents thus far predict a glorious reign, if you know when to act and when to refrain. Oh, sort through the madness and keep your mind sane.
Fabricated piffle.
I believe in it.
Then you, my queen, are a fool.
You call me a fool?
You called, milady?
What? Oh no, Carlin. Saphanthus is telling the king's fortune.
I know a touch of fortune telling. Can I watch?
Certainly, Carlin.
The device I use is a mystic deck, through which strange, incomprehensible forces speak to mere mortal man. Derric the Seventh, the time is now upon you.
What time is that?
Time to cut the deck and reveal your destiny. The first card reveals the ultimate outcome of your fears and desires. Oh, the Tower.
What's that mean?
Acquisition of authority, power, fortune, or fame. This card indicates you may achieve your goal to go down in history forever.
It does?
Either that or die in a fall from a high place.
Like my father?
Yes, he cut the tower too. But in your case, it might be good. Contingent on the next card. The juggler.
That's me. I'm the juggler.
No,
Why am I upside down?
The fool. No, fool, the juggler's not you. The juggler's a manipulator of minds and men. A vagabond stranger who will appear in your midst and inspire you to greatness. His arrival is imminent.
Why is he upside down?
What?
The card is upside down. An inverted card oft means something different.
Mystic cards have many meanings, Carlin. I call the juggler as circumstance demands.
How will I know who he is?
You'll know him instantly from his confidence in bearing. He'll present you with wild grand schemes, vitally opposed to all you now hold dear. The next card shows the obstacle standing between you and the glory you seek. The Ten of Cups. This card means laughter, merriment, happiness, and song.
That one has to be me.
It's not you, fool. It's the feelings themselves. They must be put aside if you wish to attain eternal fame. A peaceful, happy reign will fade to oblivion when you're gone.
No, I don't want to be forgotten.
Then follow the juggler.
Tommy rot and taradiddle.
The fourth card is how the past affects the future. The Pope.
Is that me?
No, fool. The Pope is a bard, mentor, advisor.
Xanthon.
There'll be friction between Xanthon and the juggler.
You better believe it.
But he'll eventually support the juggler's plans.
What?
Between Xanthon's great wisdom and the juggler's sly craft, you could one day be assured of your heartfelt desires.
I'll support nothing of the kind.
The fifth and final card is your ace in the hole, the last refuge. When all seems lost and hope is grim, heed this card, for only it can save you.
What is it?
The fool. The fool.
I suppose that's me.
Possibly, Carlin. I don't know. I've never drawn that card before. Well, it's merely a last resort, Your Majesty. And so, my king, your future fortune and imminent destiny. You've been dealt a good hand.
It's time you return to bed, sire. You've interviews in the morning.
The applicants. Could the juggler be among them? Yes. The juggler arrives on the morrow. Good night, all. Off to bed. I must be ready when he appears.
Well, Belle, it's been wonderful seeing you again, but now I must be gone.
Fanthus, we wouldn't dream of sending you off on a night like this.
We must excuse the witch, my queen. I'm sure she's got potions to mix, spells to cast, people to hex.
Actually, I've no pressing engagements.
Good. Stay the night at least. I'll summon a guard to show you a chamber.
That won't be necessary, Belle. I'm sure Xanthon won't mind showing me the way.
Come again?
Why, thank you, Xanthon. Show her our finest rest quarters, won't you?
Certainly, my queen. I'd be delighted.
Madame Soothsayer, I'm still curious about the inverted juggler. You see if the...
Good night, fool.
What? Oh. Good night, milady. Good night, all. Must polish my bells before morning. Good night.
I'm glad you're here, Fanthus. See you in the morning.
So, witch, what's the tab for tonight's shenanigans?
I did it as a favor to the queen.
You tell someone to do something and then claim it was predicted, and when a disaster does not occur, you take the credit for its avoidance. Nice scam.
12 has not yet struck. Draw a card and make your own prediction.
I'll do no such thing.
Simple experiment, Xanthon. If it's nonsense, you've nothing to fear.
Only to humor a guest. You never guessed which card I drew.
The lovers?
Well, it proves it's absurd. I suppose this means I'll find the girl of my dreams and fall madly in love.
You've drawn your own card and made your own prediction.
What woman could love a crotchety old man like myself?
You might be surprised.
Some people aren't cut out for love and marriage. What if you drew that card?
I did. 3 days hence.
Who in the world could fall in love with either of us? Oh. No, wait a minute. You don't think you and me? No. That's ludicrous.
Is it?
You're a witch. I'm a wise man. We're natural enemies. Good God, girl, you must be half my age.
In appearance only. A magic amulet delayed my aging. An amulet I no longer possess. Soon I shall age at a rapid rate, till 20 thwarted years retake their toll.
Oh, a pity. I know what it's like to grow old.
I don't dwell on it. I've had a beautiful, youthful life, long past what others were allowed. I don't fear growing old. What I fear is growing old alone.
Fanthus,
12 o'clock and all is well.
Look, it's late and tomorrow is a big day. Let me show you to your chamber.
Thank you, Xanthon.
When All Hallows Eve turned to All Hallows Day, the eager young applicants engaged in mental fray. 12 would-be wise men presented grand schemes to help good King Derric gain his historic dreams. Only one could be chosen to help lead the nation. We waited breathless in anxious anticipation.
How were they? Did you like any of them?
Of course I did. They were all clever and smart. Some of them were even handsome.
Did they like the tarts?
They loved the tarts. Everyone in the kingdom raves about the Queen's berry tarts.
It's like I've always told you, the best way to a man's heart is a hot berry tart. Which did they like best, huckleberry or Kingsberry?
Zingenberry, I think.
Oh, your father adored Zingenberry. That's how I caught his eye. He had a weakness for tarts and wine.
Especially wine. Mother, did you truly love Father?
Oh, we loved each other very much. His family didn't approve of me at first, but love like that cannot be conquered.
Mother, what if I loved someone of which you didn't approve?
Gwendolyn, dear, your happiness is all that matters to me. I would always approve of whoever you choose.
Really?
I assure you, anyone worthy of winning your heart will be embraced to the family with open arms. Unless, of course, they're a fool.
Good morning, your highnesses. Can't believe I slept so late. I suppose Derric is eager to start with the interviews?
Oh, he's already held them.
Without me? Well, I suppose he wants advice on whom to choose.
Oh, he's already chosen and dispatched the harbingers.
Without me? But who did he choose?
We don't know.
Your network of harbingers sang out the proclamations through the length and breadth of the empire. Save the royal palace. We're never told what's going on.
Oh, here comes Derric anon to announce his decision.
King Derric the Seventh comes anon to announce his decision.
Morning, Mother. Any huckleberry left?
Sire, why did you not wake me?
I couldn't wait, so I started without you.
Which one did you choose?
Huckleberry, of course. Oh, you mean the applicants? All dismissed with hearty stipends.
Those were the smartest men in the kingdom.
True, but none was the juggler.
The ding-blasted witch caused this. Just wait till I get my hands on that soothsaying swindler!
Xanthon, darling, I didn't know you cared.
Good morning, Fanthus. How did you sleep?
Wonderfully, Your Grace, once I got to bed. Xanthon and I were up quite late, engaged in stimulating theoretical discussion.
Is that what they call it these days?
It's your fault I slept in, prattling all night on your profane, preposterous philosophies.
At the time, you found them fascinating.
Typical man. They say they like you for your mind, but there's no respect in the morning.
But Derric, where will you find a wise man?
Shoulderbone, read the proclamation.
Whoever caneth deviseth a plan to maketh this kingdom be all that it can, to make this an era of which all errors sing, to make Derric the Seventh the ultimate king. Whoever, if ever, presenteth this plan, shall be appointed His Majesty's Royal Wise Man.
Please apply at the drawbridge.
Sire, you can't open the job to any and all. There's legacy, tradition and protocol.
I think it's a wonderful idea.
Well, it isn't. I'm going to assemble a second network of harbingers to refute the first, and then I instruct you, sire, to use your intelligence. This institutionist's insipid insanity has you behaving like a ding-blasted fool.
You called, my lord?
Yes, Colin, you've arrived in good time to apply for the post of Royal Wise Man.
Could I?
Carla, you always know how to do things up.
That's my job. Looks like I'm done here.
Wait, Carlin, why don't you entertain us whilst we await the juggler?
Very well, sire. This situation calls for something special, a thrilling stunt, an amazing escape from the insidious box of death. Guards, if you will assist.
We'd be glad to tie you up.
You might remember this trick, my lord. My father amazed your father with it. I believe I'm game to try.
Yes, I remember now. We tied him up, locked him in the trunk, and threw the trunk in the moat.
Actually, sire, could we forget the moat part? The water's a mite cold.
I do love to watch an amazing escape. She's never tried this one before.
Tight as you can get it. Now, tied in trust, as a Sunday goose, I allow myself to be placed in the box. And before you can scarce count to 20, I'll,
I always love this trick.
So, new harbingers are congregating, and I must insist...
Soft a moment, Xanthon. Can't you see I'm busy?
Apologies, sire. Sire, my business is urgent.
I said soft. I'm busy.
Indeed. Gwendolyn, what's he busy at?
Watching Carlin do a trick.
Will it be long?
Any second now. Exciting, isn't it?
Enthralling.
The suspense is killing me.
Sire, we must do something about your ridiculous proclamation before more show up. Some wretched beggar has already responded.
You mean I have an applicant?
More like an ape-like vagrant. I send him packing.
You what? Gods, fetch him back.
Sire, you can't grant the servant audience. He's a ragtag vagabond.
Vagabond? That's how the soothsayer described the juggler. A vagabond stranger who appears in our midst. Has he an answer to my dilemma?
I doubt he has more than the rags on his back.
Well, I'm not interested in how he dresses. I'm interested in how he thinks.
A vagabond stranger called Ravenok approaches.
Your Majesty, it is an honor and a privilege to be summoned to your esteemed presence.
It certainly is. Now keep downwind.
You claim to have a solution to my problem?
Oh, indeed, I have, Your Majesty. The conundrum you pose has been my lifelong obsession. You dread being a name on a list of kings? Consider a peasant's plight. The obscurity you face in centuries will be mine in a decade, and be all the more complete.
That is depressing.
I refused to accept it and studied intently the annals of lore. Yet in the long history of this kingdom, not one single born king could stand out above the rest.
Bob the First?
Ah, but Bob the First was not born king.
True. He rose to power by pure force of will. He led a rebellion against his oppressor, Seamus II. He usurped the throne and rallied Seamus's troops against their enemy. In the greatest battle ever fought, he defeated the armies of Bruton XIII and united both realms under the banner of Utopa. Bob the First was the greatest hero that ever lived.
Oh, exactly. And by destroying the world's last tyrants, he eliminated any chance of a hero emerging. For you to become a great hero, you must face a great villain.
I see. Where do I find a great villain?
Oh, you'll be the villain.
What? I don't want to be a villain.
Well, being a hero is infinitely more preferable, but not an available option.
I don't know the slightest thing about being an evil tyrant.
Oh, I'll coach you. With my eclectic knowledge of peasant persecution, I can transform you into the most abominable monster to ever blight the earth.
I don't want anyone hurt.
Oh, no. Fake everything. We'll stage bogus arrests, trials, executions. Then you reopen the torture chambers and...
I don't have torture chambers.
Oh, even better, build some. Enslave blacksmiths and carpenters and force them to build abhorrent instruments of unbearable agony. Then debilitate them in their own deadly devices.
Well, that's diabolical.
Yep. Tyrants are notoriously diabolical. Well, naturally, we'll arrange for their escape so they may describe to all the wretched screams of the other victims.
What other victims?
Oh, we'll take turns, pretending to be tortured. All we have to do is stand in the chamber and shriek as if being flayed alive with red-hot pincers.
Bruton XIII drew and quoted subjects for sneezing in court.
Seamus II had a feast every night while his serfs starved in their fields.
Yes, wild tales of these tyrants run rampant in the streets even now.
I figure one single year of sadistic oppression would assure you a place in history unrivaled in the realm of utopian experience.
And what then? I apologize?
Oh, no, they can never know it was a scam or it would be for naught. And here's the brilliant part of my plan. I understand you had a twin brother.
Prince Zack? I refuse to discredit his memory.
Oh, on the contrary, your majesty, my plan shall make your dear brother's name as revered as yours is feared.
How's that?
I understand Prince Zack was slain by brigands. His body never recovered.
Yes, he took an arrow through the heart.
If you convince the peasants he has been living in secret exile all this time, you can pretend to depose yourself and rule the kingdom as him. A valiant, liberating hero. Of course, you will have to raise taxes. We can't fake that.
I could triple them without causing hardship.
Then quadruple them and double that. Squeeze every drop of wealth from the peasants for your own greedy purpose. The fear of what might happen if the tax hikes continued will accomplish your goal. And afterwards, just give all the money back. No harm done. Oh, besides, they'll love it. Tales for the grandkids, you know. Oh, I remember the dark days of Derric the Seventh. We really had to tighten our belts then.
Surely you're not considering this bombastic tripe.
Why not? It's obvious that Ravenok is the juggler. Ravenok fulfilled the terms of my proclamation, and I hereby dub him Royal Wiseman.
Sire, we should discuss this.
Too late. It's already done. Start drafting a plan of excessive tax increases. Then we'll start building torture chambers and train someone to play executioner.
But sire!
Congratulations, Ravenok. Harbingers will sing praise of your appointment across the nation. And then we'll do something about your appearance.
Well, thank you profusely, your majesty. I only pray I'm worthy.
Of course you do. Well, if everyone will excuse me, I've been summoned elsewhere for important business.
King Derric the Seventh now visits the royal privy.
Stop announcing everywhere I go. And you, stop blowing that horn. I don't know how my father put up with that.
Your father liked it, my lord.
My father was drunk. He needed to be reminded where he was going. I don't.
Sorry, my lord.
I didn't mean to yell. I have a lot on my mind.
We understand, my lord.
You're a tyrant, my lord.
That's right. Tyrants are supposed to yell. How'd I do?
Oh, very good, my lord.
Had a shaking in our boots, my lord.
You're not just saying that?
Have a tart?
Oh, why, thank you, your grace.
I'm Queen Jezebel, Derric's mother. I'll assign a valet to take care of your needs.
Oh, words cannot express my gratitude, and I've never seen such a delectable tart.
It's minceberry. Berry tarts are my specialty.
Oh, and this young lady must be the king's impending bride. Such radiant beauty is unrivaled in the empire.
No, that's Derric's sister, my daughter, Princess Gwendolyn.
Oh, I'm wretched with shame to be seen in such atrocious rags by such an elegant lady.
I think you look just grand.
Later, dear lady, I'll beseech thee to honor me with your graceful presence for a moonlight tour of the palace grounds.
I'd like that. The parapets look lovely in the moonlight.
If half as lovely as you, I'll be monumentally impressed.
Gwendolyn, darling, run tell the servants we've a guest for supper.
Yes, Mother.
Come along, Ravenok. Let's get you out of those awful clothes.
Rich, is this the man you saw in your cards?
This man is the juggler. I inverted it, I fear. Tragedy beckons. Away we must steer.
What's that?
I've spoken more than allowed to say. What would cost me, I cannot pay.
More of what? I don't comprehend your iambic rambling. If it was up to me, I'd throw you and that conniving scoundrel out of the palace.
Your instincts are sound.
Silly game are you playing? You've got the king so worked up with your heretical harping, he can't think straight. Why did I not speak up? I just stood there holding my tongue like a big, dumb, bloody fool.
You called, my lord.
What, Carlin? What are you doing there?
An amazing escape. I was waiting for the right dramatic moment. It never came. Can we talk in private for a moment? Methinks an evil plot is afoot, me lord. Methinks the witch is in league with the juggler. Divide and conquer, they always say.
Who always says?
I don't know. Somebody must. But I speculate the soothsayer is swindling us.
The speculations of a fool should be kept in the privacy of his head.
A profound observation. I'll keep it in mind.
I haven't time for blithering inanity. I've a catastrophe to avert.
Xanthon, I truly would like to help.
Come along, witch. Perhaps you can after all.
The inverted juggler, my father's notes showed, means a thief, a backstabber, a despicable toad. But the juggler's sly plan worked to perfection. The scam was complete in the world's estimation. Derric the Seventh became a gory butcher king without harming a soul or destroying a thing. The wily new wiseman willfully wooed the princess hard, whilst the witch and the wizard wiseman fulfilled the lover's card. But dreadful intuition besieged my mind with fear. Treachery and murder were to come at end of year. It's All Hallows Eve of the following year, and I still have no clue what's going on here. If I tarry over long, Derric could lose the nation, yet all my suspicion is but weak accusation. My intuitive introspection, it leads nowhere but madness, but I'm quite sure the ending holds horror and sadness. Meanwhile, Derric the Seventh revels in his own royal badness.
It is now 3 o'clock, and all is not well.
Under yoke of a tyrant, Utopa's turned hell.
Derric the Seventh, the name conjures fright.
Screams from his torture room ring day and night.
He's taxed all the peasants till they haven't a cent.
2 executions a day, 3 during Lent.
Sadistic, malicious, unfeeling, and dread.
Hail Derric the Seventh, or else you'll be dead.
Hail, hail, Derric
the Seventh.
He is
He
to
is
Hades,
to Hades
what God is to heaven.
heaven.
And now, here, boy, forthwith, without further ado, is Derric!
Where's Ravenok? I demanded he meet me here. I'll have him boiled in his oil for this, or stretched on the rack.
He has been summoned, my lord.
Greetings, sire. How are you on this lovely day?
Lousy! I'm sick of being cross all the time. Has Ravenok told you how he intends to pull this off?
He's prepared to expound his brilliant stratagem.
'Tis a ruse to seal your crown. His apparent preponderant ploy is as plain as my proboscis. The pretty plan he plots to propose is a pure provocative trap. Though possibly plant an impartial support, his primary surreptitious plan, which he plots to plant the pretend plan with at a particular pre-planned point.
A cease and desist is persistent foolishness.
If you insist. However, I warn you, the king is in danger.
So are you, fool, if you provoke me further. This jest grows stale.
I never imagined my son a tyrant. I tried to be a good mother. What gets into kids these days? I don't know.
Sire, tomorrow the harbingers will decree that you will summarily put to death anyone not attending tomorrow's speech. That'll guarantee good attendance.
Excellent. What speech?
Oh, the speech where you announce that all of your family and friends, even your personal guards, have turned against you.
All of them?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Everyone, you must condemn us to the axe. Our sole redemption after the rebellion lies in appearing as helpless martyrs marked for slaughter.
Surely you don't mean me.
Oh, especially you, your grace. It would be the ultimate act of detestable evil. What vile murderous fiend would have his own mother publicly beheaded?
Me?
Yes, you! Derric the Seventh, cruelest abomination that ever called itself man. Oh, the entire kingdom will witness in speechless horror as your sweet mother's head is lowered to the chopping block, as the headsman raises his blood-stained axe. You raise your hand to signal the stroke. Then a masked stranger appears in the tower beside you. Come to liberate Utopia and save the day. He draws his sword. Aha! You draw your sword. And thus begins the most dazzling duel ever witnessed by mortal man. The entire kingdom will be wrapped in breathless anticipation of the outcome. Ha!
What happens?
Ha ha ha! You lose. Ha ha!
But I'm the greatest swordsman in the kingdom.
Oh, so I've heard, but there's one man rumored to be your equal.
Zack.
Yes!
Zack's dead.
Yep. Remember, he faked his own death to prevent being murdered by you, who even then was plotting to take the throne? But history will show that Zack returned in the nick of time to slay the tyrant and then ruled a happy kingdom. Ever after.
Great. And I'm him, right?
Yes, who else? You did say that you and Zack were absolutely identical.
Absolutely. Even Mother couldn't tell us apart.
Actually, there was one small difference.
What difference?
Gooseberry tarts.
Gooseberry tarts?
Zack adored gooseberry tarts. He could never conceal his craving. Yet, Derric couldn't stand them. That's how I always told them apart. And since Zack died, I haven't the heart to bake gooseberry tarts. It was one of my best recipes.
Well, I have enlisted some help. May I present two individuals whose skills will be invaluable in the execution of my plan?
Plan? Execution. Could this be the pre-planned point?
Abattoir! Nimrod!
Assassins! He's brought assassins! Save yourself, my king!
Hey!
Whoa, hold it, stop! What's going on?
These are assassins! It's a plot to kill the king!
That's absurd! They are actors! Just actors. Their swords are dull prop weapons.
But I thought... I was sure.
This jest goes too far. Carlin, go keep Gwendolyn company. She's on duty in the torture chamber.
Why will no one believe me? You believe me, don't you?
Oh my, guests in the palace and not a snack in sight. Pardon me, all won't be but a moment.
Abattoir and Nimrod are actors from a small but talented acting troupe, both well-versed in stage fighting.
Pleased to meet you, Squire.
Likewise, I'm sure.
Now, I suggest we hike up to the high tower and examine the dimensions, then return here to go over plans for the duel.
Wonderful suggestion. I could use some exercise.
Before we go, Your Majesty, I have a boon to ask.
Name it.
I wish your blessing to marry your sister.
Gwendolyn?
I love her dearly, sire. I only want to make her happy.
Well, if that's what she wants, my blessing is yours. Shall we go?
After you, Your Majesty.
You seem distant today, my dear.
I'm troubled.
You haven't slept well lately? You look tired.
I look old. I've aged half a score since last All Hallows.
It but enhances your beauty. Is that what troubles you?
I wish that was all.
Enigmatic as ever. Shall we stay and watch them practice?
You stay, Xanthon. I must consult my cards.
I'll see if the Queen would like to watch. Farewell, my love.
Sweet Xanthon, forgive my unwilling betrayal, or our newly found love will quickly stale. My talents are cancelled by evil black magic. This tale, I do fear, is soon to turn tragic. I'm powerless to stop it, forbidden to try. Must I now watch helpless while good people die? I fear death is near at hand, and the kingdom risks to fall. If the final card is folded, it may just doom us all.
Gwendolyn, you must believe me.
Believe that Ravenok is a traitor?
It's true.
You were talking about the man I love.
I don't want to hurt you. I want to tell you your boyfriend's a slimy snake.
What proof do you have that this is so?
None whatsoever. That's what makes me suspicious. I'd have discerned his plans by now if they were not so incredibly devious.
What you are is incredibly jealous. I know you care for me, but I finally found someone who loves me, and you want to ruin everything.
Gwendolyn, if I thought you'd truly be happy, I'd not stand in your way.
The one person I expected most in the world to be happy for me has turned against me.
Though 'twould break my heart, I'd gladly martyr all to prevent you breaking yours.
The Carlin I grew up with was my best friend, supported me no matter what. I don't know who you are.
Gwendolyn. Now I think I realize the princess may be right. I've seen no earthly reason to give Ravenok slight. No wicked, evil plot has shown itself on stage. Have I imagined all out of selfish, jealous rage? If I've offended Gwendolyn, I desire to be dead. Nothing I can say can excuse what I have said. Oh, I have been a fool far beyond my station, humiliated myself in the world's estimation. In Gwendolyn's lovely eyes, I have lost all worth. I wish now to vanish from the face of the earth. I vow I shall never emerge today again. To farewell, cruel world, to return I've no yen.
All right, everybody, now let's say that the line on the floor is the parapets. Now, Sire, you'll give your speech from there. Now, Nimrod, yes, you'll play Zach and enter from behind the tower. Just stand behind the door for now. Right, Abattoir, you'll play Derric. And
I want to play Derric.
Yes, Your Excellency, you'll play Derric for the speech. Then Abattoir plays Derric for the duel. I've already hired him. We have to let him play something.
Yeah, it's in my contract.
Oh, I know. He can play Executioner.
I want to play Executioner.
You must be in line for execution yourself. Only enemies of the state can retain their identity after the rebellion. Right, you three will be down there in the public square. Stand there for now and pretend. Strategically placed heralds will echo the king's words for all to hear as he coldly announces his mother's decapitation.
Oh, can I play the queen?
Yes, for now, you can play the queen. Tomorrow, the queen will play the queen, okay? At the culmination of your decree, when your inflammatory oratory drives the peasants to a frothy rage, you raise your hand to signal the chop, and Nimrod jumps out to confront you.
Well, if she misses her cue, he won't really cut off her head, will he?
Fear not, my lord, these are method actors. Try it again.
Die, scum!
Perfect, that's just how I want it.
Die, scum?
Well, it doesn't matter what she says. No one will hear it.
If she's going to play Zach, she needs to do it right.
I'm an actor, not a writer.
Very well, very well. What would Zach say?
Hold on. My brother would say something like this. I cease my secret exile to face your vile, rotten example of human inhumanity, that someone born of my father in my image could become this abominable fiend? Draw thy sword, tyrant. Your day of reckoning's upon you. Lay on.
Yes, beautiful, Your Majesty. Can you remember all that, Nimrod?
Of course. A tad wordy, if you ask me.
Well, yes. Your Majesty, perhaps you should work on your final evil tyrant speech. I'll take the others with me and brief the rest of the palace on their parts in this charade.
I'll give it a whirl. My most loathsome, detestable subjects, I summoned you here to witness the totality of my power. I have uncovered a devious plot on my life, and now you all shall pay. The first to feel the bite of a cold, hard axe is my own dear, sweet mother.
Die, scum!
A Purple Avenger? Wait. You're Zack.
I cease my secret exile to face your vile, rotten example of human inhumanity.
You're really alive. I don't believe it. That's wonderful.
That someone born of my father in my image could become this abominable fiend?
I knew you'd say something like that.
Draw thy sword, tyrant. Your day of reckoning's upon you.
No, Zack, wait.
Lay on.
Hold it, stop.
Here they are, practicing away.
Xanthon, help.
It looks so real. You'd think they were really fighting.
Today I spit you like a pig you are for the vile insult inflicted on our royal family.
Zack, listen, it's all a joke.
Ha!
Who thought of the hood and cloak? Nice touch.
Ravenok's actor has talent. Good show, Nimrod.
Well, what's that, my lord?
I was commenting on your inspired performance. I was... Nimrod? Who's that?
It's...
Ah, my lord, I'm right here.
Then who the blazes is that?
It's Zack.
What?
Oh, hi, Mom. Excuse me whilst I slay this despot.
Zack! Let us explain!
Not you, Xanthon. My brother so violently twisted and my father's wise man defends him?
It's a hoax, my boy. Derric isn't evil.
Not?
Look at him, man. He's your brother.
Welcome back, little brother.
Little brother hell. I let you be born first.
Let me? You insisted.
Is this how I raised you to treat your mother? Letting me think you dead all these years? I was worried sick.
I'm sorry, Mother. I didn't plan it. The arrow missed my heart by a hair's breadth. It would have been fatal had I not been immediately rescued by a passing woodsman whose daughter was blessed in healing magic. Oh, for months I lingered at the brink of death. When I woke from delirium, my memory was gone. I was dressed in peasant garb and no one suspected who I was.
It must have been dreadful among the common rabble.
On the contrary, I've grown to like it. I'm their hero now. My exploits are legendary. I vowed to slay the bloody tyrant and topple his wicked empire, when suddenly, while scaling the high tower, I was struck with deja vu. I remembered climbing it as a boy.
Had I known that, I'd have spanked your bottom.
But I must warn you, Derric, if you do not desist in oppressing the peasants, I shall be forced to slay you.
No problem there. You're scheduled to do so tomorrow.
I didn't expect you to be so accommodating.
Excuse me, what's all the commotion?
Prince Zack is back.
Purple Avenger.
Zack, meet Ravenok, my new wise man. The whole tyrant scam was his brainchild.
Pleased to meet you. Have we met before? Mother, you wouldn't happen to have any gooseberry tarts, would you?
I'll go bake some.
Oh, goody.
Yes, Your Majesty, why don't you and Xanthon take Zack up to the high tower and go over our plan while I instruct the others on the roles they will play?
Good idea. Come on, Zack, race you to the top.
You're on.
Don't wait for me. I'll be along.
Well, my dear, dear queen, the time has finally come for this absurd little comedy to become a tragedy. Abattoir, Nimrod, grab the guards.
What's going on?
Treason, my dear. My actors hold envenomed dirks at chinks in their armor.
We'll not allow you to harm our king.
They are expert assassins. One nick and you're dead before you strike the floor.
Ravenok, what are you doing?
Oh, my name's not Ravenok. Nimrod, tell them who I am.
You're Dubane.
That's Count Dubane to you.
Yes, the barbarian warlord, in disguise. And now my prize assassins have the king's elite personal guard completely at their mercy.
King Derric don't need us to protect him from you lot.
Especially with the Purple Avenger at his side.
That vigilante fop has thwarted my plans too often in the past to ignore. His unexpected resurrection throws a kink in the works, so I'm enlisting your help.
Yeah, we'll never help you.
Kill us 5 times over, we'll not betray our king.
Oh, your king is already lost. His death's a foregone conclusion. Your deaths are subject to debate.
We're sworn to die for our king.
And so you shall, but first you're going to kill him.
We will not.
Your loyalty commends you. Derric will never expect you to turn on him.
I tell you, we won't.
Oh, and I tell you, you will. This vial contains elixir from a rare berry grown deep in the West Woods. 1 sip, and you'll do anything I say. Oh, you'll make fantastic assassins, always at the king's back. Drink now and kill your king.
Never.
Hey.
Don't. Nimrod, you've killed me.
Run, my queen! I'll take care of Dubain! Oh, Abattoir, you've done me in!
Don't worry, I've saved the potion. Oh, it's gone.
So, they did foil your plan.
They merely create an inconvenience. You two hide the bodies. Come on, my queen. I must lock you up whilst I kill your sons, woo your daughter, and prepare your execution.
Dear God, I was right. The kingdom's in for a fight. Ravenok is a traitor, a scheming brigand invader. It's a terrible thing. I've got to warn the king.
Goes there.
Can't go that way. They'll nab me and beat me, cut me, stab me. Oh, pox, here comes the witch. So back in the box, I'll ditch.
Death is struck and still remains. My hands too shall bear the stains. I must find Ravenok.
Well, what have we got here?
Out of my way. I seek Ravenok.
You got an appointment?
What do we got here, mate?
Looks like a bleeding witch. You want to get feisty, eh?
Stay back, you hounds of hell.
Hey, what'd you call me?
Unhand me, you wretch!
You heard the lady. Back off. Can't I leave you alone for 1 second without you attacking someone?
Sorry, boss.
What's going on here, Ravenok? You said no one would be hurt. You said you wanted to be the wise man.
Oh, well, you see, I lied.
You tricked me.
You prepared them for my entrance. That's all I asked. Oh, and here's your precious amulets. Just remember, breathe 1 word of what you know, and your immortal soul is forfeit.
My powers have left me.
I had your perceptions curtailed so you did not thwart my destiny.
Destiny?
To be Utopa's liberator and ultimate king.
You're insane.
I rule the Westwood. I, tomorrow, will gain Utopia. I'll control everything. I'll rule the world.
I'm warning the king.
No. Stay out of my way and I'll spare your life.
You've involved me by extorting my help. I did not know the stakes.
Oh, you would have walked free. These people mean nothing to you. They banned you from the palace. They treat you like dirt, and you'd sacrifice all to save them? You're no true witch, my dear. Frankly, you're a fool.
You called, my lord.
What?
Oops. Would anyone care for a tart? I've got Loganberry and Dingleberry.
Oh, I'll have one. Oh, never mind.
What are you doing there, fool? What have you heard?
Nothing, my lord. Can't hear a thing in the box of death. Didn't even hear you say fool. I popped up by accident.
Kill her.
Ravenok.
Oh, hold it. Without the potion, we need the fool. Take her alive, secure them in the deepest dungeon.
Not the deepest dungeon.
Silence, fool! Yeah, now hurry before the princess suspects.
Ravenok, where are you?
Oh, in here, my sweet.
You wanted to see me?
Eternally, my darling. Great news, the king consented to our wedding.
Our wedding?
Yes, tomorrow, before the liberation. Isn't that wonderful?
Wonderful. I don't know.
Oh, but you do want to get married.
I do. I did. I thought I did. I don't know what I thought. I thought we'd discuss it first.
Oh, I wanted to surprise you.
You did. And it's kind of wonderful, but you might have asked first. Ravenok, from the moment you arrived, I saw you as my last hope of filling the void in my life.
I love you.
You speak it well, but I feel it not. Your love is artificial, pre-planned, sweet words to win me over. I think I've always known, but I couldn't dare admit it, even to myself.
Well, you don't know what you're saying.
I do know what I'm saying. You don't love me, and I don't love you. We both love what we think the other can give us. You've all the qualities I desire, but I can't love qualities. I love a person, and the person I love is Carlin. I care not a whit she's a fool. If she'll have me, I'll be hers. You and I shall never marry.
We shall marry tomorrow.
Ravenok, I said I won't marry you.
And I said you will.
You don't understand. I don't love you.
Oh, you don't understand. I don't care.
You're right, I don't understand.
You don't have to, my sweet. I'll be king of Utopia, and you my queen.
You're a traitor? Carlin was right. What have you done with her?
The fool is safe in the deepest dungeon. She may live provided you do what I say. Disobey me once in anything, and I'll have her roasted over a slow fire.
You wouldn't.
I will.
You monster!
Oh, I'll not be cruel, my sweet. Now do come along. I've an empire to steal.
So you faked the whole bloody business to go down in the history books, eh? You sure have the peasants fooled. You fooled me.
'Twas Ravenok's idea. He masterminded the entire affair.
Off your hood and cloak, Master Zack, and just relax.
Once the Purple Avenger vows to do a deed, he cannot remove the mask until that deed is done.
You're home now, royal prince of a wondrous realm, not a gadabout bully boy in a fancy cape.
I'm more than that. I'm champion of the people, forever vigilant in the valiant quest to hunt down and destroy every vicious vestige of festering evil that elects to violently vex the land.
After helping me usurp myself tomorrow, you shall be my right-hand man.
I envy you, brother. The intrigues of court, the resources at your disposal, you can manipulate history on a whim.
Oh, you're the one to be envied. While I'm cooped up in this castle, you're gallivanting around the country, leaping to battle with reckless abandon.
Being a vigilante isn't always fun, Derric. It's hard to keep your costume clean. You're always expected to act gallant and courageous and bold, even when you've a tummy ache or have to pee.
I have an idea. You can be King Zack, and I'll become the Purple Avenger.
Balderdash, sire. You can rule under Zack's name because you're the firstborn and true king. Zack could never be allowed to rule the kingdom while you were alive.
We'd never dream of changing places, would we, Zack?
It's inconceivable. Of course, then again, if we ever did...
No one would ever know.
Oh, fear not, old friend. We're just having you on.
Don't be such a sourpuss, Xanthon. Now, go find Ravenok. Zack and I will perform the sword fight ourselves. I'll buy out Nimrod's contract.
Very well, sire, but no plotting behind my back.
Would we ever try to deceive you?
Funny question from someone who's let on he's been dead the last 5 years. Wait, what?
What was that?
Did you hear something?
Huh. Oh, well, they'll never believe in the village that I'm the brother to the tyrant.
You can't tell them about the scam. They must all believe that Derric the Seventh was a sadistic oppressor. Otherwise, it was all for naught.
Oh, I must tell Angelica. We're going to be married.
What's she like? Is she a fitting bride for Crown Prince of Utopa?
Oh, you'll love her, Derric. Raven hair, big brown eyes, smart as a goddess.
Perhaps I'll become Purple Avenger and convince her I was you.
Over my valiant dead body. But you might be in luck. By an astonishing coincidence, she happens to have an identical twin sister.
Whoa, what are the odds of that?
Ah, well, your majesties. I hear you want to perform the duel yourselves. Well, Nimrod will be disappointed, but that's showbiz. But first, however, we must replace your swords with dull prop weapons.
We won't hurt each other.
Oh, but I'd feel awful if you got hurt. No, give me your swords right now and I'll fetch the prop replacements.
Wait, why do you need our swords now?
Simple. So the prop swords I select will have the same weight and balance. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what do we do in the meantime?
Oh, I advise you to stay right where you are.
Why's that? Oh.
My friends are non-Perel experts at killing. Ask Shoulderbone and Kneecap. Or rather, their ghosts.
You killed them?
No, they killed them.
No!
Now. Avenger, you will be tied.
Ow! Give us our steel and we'll see how good they are.
Oh, I admit it would be an interesting matchup, but why take a chance when I have you now right where I want you?
You're Dubane. I knew we'd met before.
Oh, intimately. Count Dubane rose to power as the brigand who killed a prince. Pity my comrades were too badly wounded to assure you were truly dead. I almost regret having to kill the others, but your death shall be a pleasure. The people will embrace any leader who delivers them from a tyrant's rule. Oh, the people. Count Dubane, the liberating hero. I'll marry the princess, assume the throne. It's ironic. You, who never hurt a soul, will be known as the world's greatest villain, whilst I, after performing the most insidiously evil act in history, shall be known as its greatest hero. I know not why I explain myself to dead men, but megalomaniacs are required to gloat a little. By the way, I stacked the deck by exhorting the witch to jigger your fortune.
The Fantas? I don't believe it.
Oh, believe it. But alas, in the end, she turned against me too, and now must die with the rest.
Must so many innocents die for my mistakes?
Knock that off. You're making me feel bad. I mean, I did not ask to be the villain. It's the part I got. Now die like a man and no hard feelings.
I like being a villain.
Yeah, it's fun. Can we kill him now, boss?
No, hold your horses. Look, one of you needs to die now. The other needs to live through the night so his freshly killed corpse can be flung from the high tower at the conclusion of tomorrow's duel. It doesn't matter which. I leave the choice to you.
I'm sorry, brother, for getting you into this.
I blame you not, brother. I came to kill you, yet now die at your side. All seems lost.
All hope is grim. Wait, my last resort. I have a card to play.
What card?
The Fool!
You called, my lord.
Ah! Wait, I told you to lock her in the deepest dungeon.
We did!
And I told you I make amazing escapes.
So what's she going to do, tickle us to death?
Don't mock me, Ravenok. I'll drive a sword through your cold black heart.
Surely you jest.
You've locked me up, you've put me down, upended my kingdom and stole the crown. You've killed my friends, you've threatened my sire, you've diddled my dander and fired my ire. But you know what really pops my lid? The wickedest, evilest thing that you did, the ultimate unforgivable sin. You stole my girlfriend, Gwendolyn.
Oh no, guys, the fool is scaring me. Kill her!
You're dead meat!
Die, scum!
Hey, that's my line.
Clumsy oafs! Can't you kill a silly jester?
He keeps running away.
Stupid fool! Stand and fight!
Now that would be stupid.
Just get there. Just
Magic!
Here, Derric, I'll untie you. Now, grab your swords while I untie Zach. My perceptions were recovered when Carlin removed the amulet. I put the amulet in my wand, and now I seem to have more powers. Magic!
Dubain, turn, fiend, and face thy death.
Nimrod, Abattoir, help!
Thank you, witch. Fetch some guards and free the others.
Now we'll see who the greatest swordsmen really are.
Die, scum!
Or shoulder bone!
For kneecap.
But I killed shoulder bone. He killed kneecap.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
Considering the heat, I'll beat a retreat. A grueling double duel left me playing the fool.
You called, my lord.
Oh.
Stick around. There's another fight coming. Let's see if you can kill a silly jester.
Lay on!
Hey, Carlin, need a hand?
No thanks, I've got to. Now I've got you, Ravenok.
Go ahead and kill me. I deserve to die.
No. You shall live, plagued by the knowledge you were bested by a fool.
Very wise, Carlin. We shall imprison the devil in the deepest dungeon and eliminate all evidence he ever existed.
No. Kill me, but let me be remembered. Dang me, hang me, flay me, slay me, burn me, spurn me.
Carlin, we owe you our lives.
You saved the kingdom from the clutches of a madman.
Forgive me.
Forgive you for what?
For being blind. I do love you, Carlin. I love you a lot. I don't care a whit that you're a fool.
Carlin, had we listened sooner, a great deal of suffering would have been avoided. I want you to be my advisor. I hereby dub thee my new wise man.
I concur wholeheartedly. I must have been hit on the head.
Xanthon, did you summon some guards?
Yes, sire. Shoulderbird and Kneecap are truly and tragically dead. But I've located their immediate subordinates.
Have them take charge of the prisoner.
You heard the king. You cantankerous curs, get in here!
No, it can't be.
I watched them die.
What be? Ghosts or phantoms or what?
We be none of those, my lord.
Nor are we shoulder bone and kneecap.
We are their identical twins.
Ankle bone and skull cap at your service.
You didn't think they really stood guard all day and night, did you?
I never really thought about it. Anklebone, Skullcap, lock Dubain in the dungeon. Know that forcing him to live his life in total obscurity is worse than any physical torture you could devise.
No, boil me, bake me, do not forsake me.
Our twins died noble deaths in defense of their lord.
Without their valiant sacrifice, this crisis could not have been averted.
It's how they always dreamed of dying.
God, I wish it had been me.
Your twins will be immortalized as heroes.
The annals of lore shall ever extol Shoulderbone and Kneecap's daring suicide rescue of the Queen.
If it ever happens again, Majesty, count on us to do the same.
It's what we live for.
Hang on, can you at least put me in a footnote?
Take him away.
Move it, dog.
So the villains were brought to justice.
Not all the villains, Anthon. I deceived you. Depayne used me to gain his position in the palace. I knew he was lying. He held for ransom my amulet of youth. My avarice to repossess it overwhelmed my sense of honor.
You helped us defeat him.
None of this would have happened had I not misread the juggler.
I would not have returned. Carlin would still be a fool. Derric would still be unhappily historically obscure.
Shoulderbone and Kneecap would still be alive.
Xanthon, the sentence is yours to impose, but I recommend leniency in light of unusual circumstances.
I do hereby sentence you to be confined for the rest of your days, or the rest of my days. Confined, that is, to me, in a pact of holy marriage, or, if you prefer, go free.
I embrace your pact with all my heart, and thank the court for its infinite mercy.
I see on the morrow a grand and glorious wedding. What say you, Gwendolen, to a double ceremony?
Carlin, you impetuous imp.
I deeply regret such profound sorrow resulting from my own selfish whims. I hereby pledge my reign as Zac the Third will be selflessly just, in fitting recompense for my own misdeeds.
Cheer up, brother. You've created the era of which the future bard sings.
I'll have the cooks prepare a meal that is fit for 2 kings.
Tonight, we shall feast and toast our lost friends. We'll judge this day happy, for happy it ends.
And we all lived happily ever after. Right, Carlin?
King Derric VII was in 7th heaven, a glorious place in our history assured. His infamous name would have undying fame for as long as Utopia endured. Yet the ravages of time were not so kind into the modern world were thrust. The annals of lore now exist no more. They've crumbled into dust. But take heart. Our final years were full of great cheers. We are happy as fleas on a dog. And if you've got time, following my rhyme, stick around for a brief epilogue.
Hear ye, King Zac the Third returns from his inaugural speech.
Now, that's the way a speech should be received.
Rebellion, double wedding, coronation. What a day. You made me proud, dear brother, but now I must away.
Don't run off so soon, son. You must stay for supper.
Sorry, mother, but my true love awaits me. Romance in the air makes me long to be there. I flourished my sword with violent flare. Now purple I vanish into violet air.
Well, sire, I beg your leave also. Xanthus and I would like to spend some time at her country cottage. Looking forward to some time away, lying back in the hammock, breathing fresh country air.
No time for that, dear. I've been gone a year here. No time for relaxing. The roof will need thatching. Much cleaning is needed, and the garden needs weeded. Endless chores to complete. Are you coming, my sweet?
Oh, love, I would say, where is thy sting? But I think I have found it. Coming, darling.
Isn't love grand? Speaking of love, where's Carlin and Gwendolyn?
They've ensconced themselves in the north wing to enjoy their nuptial happiness.
They left strict instructions not to be disturbed, if you know what I mean.
Looks like it's just us for supper. Anything special you'd like to eat, son?
How about gooseberry tarts?
Hooray! Thank you. I'm Johanna Spencer. I directed this piece. I would like to introduce the playwright, Ralph Turley from Portland, Oregon. Ralph, where are you? Are you still here?
Here I am.
There he is. Yay! And so the cast in order was Michael Wren playing Abattoir from Corvallis, Oregon. Ellie Smith playing Kneecap and Skullcap from Philomath. Lynn Winkle playing Queen Jezebel from Portland, Oregon. Trevor Brandt playing King Derric from Seattle, Washington. Matthew Owen playing Xanthon from London. Diane Edwards Slamp playing Saphanthus from Albany. Pat Perdue playing the Purple Avenger from Eugene. Brandon Ure playing Shoulderbone and Anklebone from Corvallis. Anais Main playing Carlin from Corvallis. She's also attending school in Massachusetts. Karen Woolwind playing Nimrod from Corvallis. Laura Blackwell playing Gwendolyn from Salem. John Carone playing Ravenok from Corvallis. And Tyler Mann was our understudy tonight. So thankful we didn't need to use you, Tyler, but we're glad you're here. He's from Richland, Washington. And we want to thank Chad Howard, who is our stage manager, and also our sound man, our Foley artist tonight is Samson Leithram. Yay, hello, Samson. Just want to remind you that next week, or actually tomorrow, we're starting a Sunday showcase of new plays. That'll be at 2:30 tomorrow. There's 2 short comedies, and it's tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 on Facebook Live right here. And then next week, join us for the Iron Thespian COVID Clash. There'll be a 24-hour session starting May 15th at 7 p.m. It'll take us 12 hours to write the play, 12 hours to rehearse the play, and 24 hours to triumph digitally. And that'll be on Facebook next week at 7:30 right here, Facebook Live. I want to just thank you again, everyone, and thank our playwright. Yay, so good to see you tonight. Have a great week.